Hey guys, here we are back in the shop. I am getting ready to start working on my scenery, on my layout, and usually, or lately, I've been using a sawdust and glue mixture, which does really good, gets really nice and hard. One of the big drawbacks to it, it takes like several days for it to dry once you apply it. Sculptamold is another thing that works really well. It dries really fast. And that's one of the good things about it. But the problem with Sculptamold is the price. Like a 3-pound bag, even at Walmart, which is the cheapest place to buy it, is about $7 for 3 pounds. I did find a school supply place that'll do 50 pounds for $70. So, but anyway, that's still a little bit, my layouts in G-scale is huge. I got a lot of area to cover to give me a base. So, I was looking for an alternative. So if you know, Sculptamold is nothing but like a plaster and a cellulose mixture. Well, I got to thinking, it just hit me all of a sudden that Home Depot or Lowe's sells a cellulose insulation, which is 85% just plain paper, recycled paper. Anyway, so I always keep hydrocal on hand because I do some casting in hydrocal. Home Depot sells this. It's called green fiber. It's an 18-pound bag. It's just their standard insulation, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit more thicker than the Sculptamold. I'm sure they have some huge machine that they make their Sculptamold in and get the fibers broken apart a little bit better than what we're working with here. But anyway, I've tried it. It works pretty good. I'm just going to go to this because it's dried and set in about 15-20 minutes. It still has to. It's still kind of a little, just barely damp to touch, but it's hard and it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to show you how I prepare it before I use it on the layout. Anyway, what I do is I take that cellulose. This is a 7-cup container, and I pull it out. I kind of break it up a little bit. You're not going to get it totally broken up, but you can get the large clumps. This is like I said, that's a 7-cup container. This is a 12-ounce cup here, and I put hydrocal in it, and I just more or less pour the whole thing in there. And you can mix it up by hand, but generally I just take it, put a lid on the container, and just agitate it to mix it. Now, we're not going to get this in the fibers as good as the Sculptamold place does, but I'll show you how I mix it and how it works. I've already got some on the layout. It works pretty good. So I've got a decent mixture of the hydrocal into the fibers. So now I've just got a bigger container that I take this and I dump it into. Okay, so we've got that ready to use. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to move over to the layout, we'll mix up some, and I'll show you how it goes on. Okay, here we are at the layout. I was going to show you something I've already done. This is using Sculptamold right here. I filled in this area, and it was probably done about a week ago. Anyway, this is something I did last night over here. This is using the stuff that I have just made. It is a little bit more tan because that's the color of the paper. I'm sure they either bleach it or there's in the Sculptamold because it'll look a lot better, if you're using that as your primary top. But anyway, I did this last night. It took about 15-20 minutes to get nice and hard. What I do is once I mix it up, I use just a regular old artist spatula to blend it in. I left a ridge here because I'm going to fill this in with ballast. So I've got to come back and do the back side and get this built up. And I'm building it up to my fascia. So it looks like the groundwork comes right up to it. This stuff sands just like the Sculptamold, so if I can clean this up right here on the edge, make it look good. But anyway, so we're going to mix up some of this homemade Sculptamold real quick. I've got it just straight out of that bucket. We'll take plain water, and we're just going to mix it up. I was going to say locally I can get hydrocal locally, and I used to get about $25-30 a bag, 50-pound bag, so it goes a pretty good ways. That cellulose from Home Depot was $11, so you got $30 into a pretty good size container of homemade scupltamold. Anyway, once I got it there, you can see it's turned kind of brown. And what I'm going to do is I got a little 4-ounce cup of hydrocal. I'm just going to go ahead and add that to it. And you just need to work with it until you get the consistency that you want. Just mixing it up. Now you can add as much or a little hydrocal as you want. If you need it harder, just add a little bit more. But see, it mixes in with the paper really nicely. I'm spilling it everywhere. All right, we'll just trowel it in just like you would the regular. I mean, it mixes up to almost just like the regular scupltamold, and then we're just laying it in place. Now, this hydrocal bag I've had here is been open for almost a year, so it sets a little faster than a fresh bag. But see, I did this yesterday, and it blends just with this spatula. It just pulls right into what I made yesterday, and I'll work this up to the edge. See, I can let that dry and I can come back if I need to add just a little bit more right here. It'll blend right back into it. But anyway, I want to show you that. It is a cheap way to make your homemade scupltamold. It works really well. It gets really nice and hard, just like the other stuff. I'm sure I'm gonna finish this up, let it dry. Just put a fan on it to blow some of the moisture out of it, because you know plaster takes a day or two for it to totally evaporate out. But it doesn't look like this is some of the. Right here is some of the sawdust and wood and white glue mixture here, and that took like 3 or 4 days to dry, and that's not very thick. Nowhere near as thick as the hydrocal I did here. And if I did this in the water and glue mixture, the sawdust and glue mixture, it would take a week or more to dry. So anyway, hope this video helps. If you got any questions, you can always contact me at tiesplains.com. Y'all have a good day.